In Bath.
We now come to the Leader of the SNP, Ian Blackford.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I welcome our four colleagues from the Parliament of Ukraine who are with us today? We all stand with them. Mr. Speaker, I've spent much of the last week trying to help the Scottish charity Dnipro Kids, established by fans of Hibernian Football Club, who've evacuated 48 children from orphanages in Ukraine and are desperately attempting to provide them with temporary sanctuary in Scotland. Mr. Speaker, there is a plane ready and waiting in Poland to bring these orphans to the UK on Friday, but that flight will leave empty without the necessary paperwork from the Home Office. The Polish authorities, Edinburgh City Council, the Scottish Government and the orphans' guardians are all working to bring these children to safety. I work with UK Government ministers to try and make this happen, and I want to commend Lord Harrington in particular for his efforts. But a week on, the Home Office is still proving to be the only obstacle in the way, and it risks leaving these children stranded. So I'm pleading with the Deputy Prime Minister, remove these obstructions before it's too late. Will he work with me and the Ukrainian authorities to guarantee that these 48 Ukrainian orphans will get on that plane this Friday?
Deputy Prime Minister.
Can I thank the honourable gentleman for all he's doing? This is a heart-rending situation. We want to do everything we can. Of course, there are a range of issues in this case, including the wishes of the Ukrainian government on where orphan children should go and should be living, whether any necessary permissions have been sought from the Ukrainian and/or Polish governments. This isn't actually about bureaucracy, it's about genuine safeguarding issues, but I certainly want to work with him in the best interests of those children.
Ian Blackford.
I'm asking the government to do just exactly that, because we've been working with the Ukrainian and Polish authorities. We have their support. We need the Home Office to give us the paperwork that will make that happen. Because, Mr. Speaker, this one case goes to the heart of the failure in the UK government's response to the biggest refugee crisis in Europe since World War II. It is deeply concerning that it's taken the intervention of several ministers of state, letters to multiple European ambassadors, and the fear of this case being exposed in the chamber to try and force movement in an urgent case involving almost 50 vulnerable children. Even where there is the will, it seems that simply there is no way that the Home Office can get involved. I shouldn't have been sending letters to the authorities in Ukraine and Poland. The Home Office should have been doing it. If all these powerful people can't make it happen, what hope do all the other children fleeing this awful war have of finding sanctuary in the UK? The United Nations are now estimating that almost one child a second is becoming a refugee from the war in Ukraine. These 48 children will not be the last who need sanctuary and safety. Surely the Deputy Prime Minister agrees it shouldn't have taken this level of intervention and pressure for the Home Office to do the right thing by these children.
Minister.
Well, can I just say to him, it's very important that the proper international practices on safeguarding are followed. I know he appreciates that. We're keen to find out if family reunion options with Ukrainian family in the region have been considered. We also know, can you just listen for a second, because it's important. We also know that many children in state care in Ukraine have family members in the region for safeguarding and well-being of the children. That must also be considered. More broadly, he raises the issue about refugees and children on top of the measures that I've already mentioned. We're making plans for the arrival of 100,000 Ukrainian children through the Education Secretary in our schools. And I pay tribute to the Health Secretary for bringing Ukrainian children suffering from cancer over to this country to receive the vital treatment they need.